I want to thank each and every one of you that reached out to me and said, "Hey, Michael, where are the daily financial news for Friday and Saturday? We need our information." Well, folks, I had the data, I've done the work, just didn't have time to record them, but I appreciate you. And here we go. So for Friday, October 6th, what was I reading about? First and foremost, I was watching a video from the one and only Brian Lebo. Yes, your Las Vegas real estate agent, the gentleman who helped Olivia and I. He put out a tremendous video talking about Las Vegas real estate. And in that video, he basically said, I don't get it. Transactions are down, and one would argue way down, but prices are up. Well, Brian, if you remember, you and I had a friendly wager about that exact thing happening, and it continues to happen across the country. So, what are the numbers? Transactions in 2023 for the month of September, 1,545. That was down from the month before, but let's get some context. Let's compare this with 2019. 2019, September, we did 2521 or 2,521. Folks, that is a transaction crash of 38.7%. But what about value? What about value? Well, folks, value did exactly what we've been talking about on this channel. Went up very slightly. It went from 445K median to 449. Wow. What about inventory? Well, inventory went up from 3,620 to 3,896. So up, but again, below historical averages. So what does all this mean? Well, unfortunately, it's what we have been talking about. The move-up buyer, the one that often sells to feed first-time home buyers, is not selling. What we are seeing is more and more folks above the median taking haircuts, thus having some transactions, again, down 40%, but we are still pulling the median home price higher. This is how the median works. Folks, do yourself a favor. Draw 11 ticks on a piece of paper, just 11. Circle the sixth one. Now, do yourself a favor. Erase the first three and erase the seventh. Now find the median. Well, the median gets higher. That's just how median works. It's what we've been talking about for a year. It's what I told you was coming. And now we're seeing it even in markets like Las Vegas. It seemingly doesn't make sense, but it is exactly what we are expecting. Logan Motoshima from Housing Wire, new week-on-week listings still trending at record lows. We are still below last year. On Friday, we learned that Tesla is cutting prices again. The question about Tesla, and the one that you have to ask if you are an investor or a hater, and again, it is really that bipolar with Tesla, is Tesla going out cutting prices to take market share and frankly injure their competitors? Or is this a desperate move by Tesla to sell inventory that they are producing? Again, depending on whether you love or hate Tesla, your answer will be different. I suspect, in all honesty, as someone who hates the stock, doesn't own it, will never own it, it's just too crazy for me. I think this is I think it's a brilliant move, frankly. I think what Tesla is doing is using their efficiencies to, yes, eat some margin. I don't think there's any doubt margin gets hit by this, but they still, at least in the category of EVs, have plenty of margin to play with, and it hurts their competitors in the face of strikes, right? Think about being a competitor. You're negotiating with the UAW. You know that's going to be higher overhead costs, input costs. And then your competitor who's cleaning your clock in EVs lowers the price. That can't make you feel good. So I suspect it is a wonderful chess move. And I say this as a complete innocent third party who has no skin in the game, but that's what it seems like to me. I don't know if you heard this, but apparently Biden's going to restart the border wall. Does this mean Biden owes Trump an apology? Sometimes the right idea might be said from the wrong messenger, but it's still the right idea. I'm just saying. Sometimes you need to say you were right. Also, I think something that Trump said that will be proved to be historically genius was when rates were really low, we should have issued 100-year debt. We would have really saved the next generation from the higher interest payments we are all starting to feel right now. Interesting. Business Insider is out telling you that the 1980s are coming back to the housing market. Again, this is something we've been talking about for quite a while. You can go to my website. I highly recommend it, onerentalatatime.com. There are 8 boxes if you're on your computer. Go to the lower right and download the 53-year spreadsheet, folks. There's gobs and gobs of data there. Really calls out why understanding the housing market for the 1980s is so important. Go get it, digest it for yourself, and let me know what you think. Levi Strauss cut forecast. That was a earnings announcement from Friday. We obviously got, what did we get the other day? We got PepsiCo yesterday, but Levi Strauss cut. Rates were spiking on Friday. They've since come off the boil a little bit, but Wall Street higher for longer. Bond vigilantes, inflation reigniting. There's lots of things for us to talk about. Where were the jobs at on Friday? Again, Friday was a big number for jobs. We had leisure and hospitality up 96,000, government 73, retail 20. One thing to note, again, in the data Friday, it was very much a part-time versus full-time, so it's not quite as aggressive a jobs number as we had thought. JP Morgan's Marko Kolanovic is expecting a 20% drop in the S&P 500. He thinks that the 5.5% in money market rates is just too juicy for the risk on stocks. And lastly, looks like the MGM Resorts said that the cyber attack that they suffered through cost them $100 million. Wow. Folks, do me a favor. The Saturday Daily Financial News is going to be amazing. I'm actually going to give flowers to Reventure Consulting. I think Reventure Consulting has produced a chart that explains why the crash bros have been wrong, explains the current environment. I want to give Reventure Consulting his flowers. I think it's an amazing chart, and it clearly shows why the crash bros have been wrong year after year after year. So nice work, Reventure. You did a great job. I will show it in the next video. Thank you so much.